So this week's interactive advanced concept is a pasta noodle rocket. So I'm going to get the experiment going, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening afterwards. So my noodle situation is not the best, so I'm hoping that I have the right kind and it will work. They're a little small, but I think I got it figured out. Okay. So we've added hydrogen peroxide to a mason jar, and I'm going to add some yeast. And I'm going to cap off the yeast right after I put it in with the lid of my jar. Okay. I'm going to shake it a little. Ooh. Okay. So we're having a really big reaction happen right now. I haven't even done anything to the noodle. So I'm not sure what happened here. Okay. We're going to give the video a pause, and when I come back, we'll talk about why that went wrong and maybe try it again. Okay, so we had a little mishap. Basically what happened is I didn't have my seal tight enough, and we had some overflow from our yeast and carbon dioxide, but I set it up again. I'm good to go. I have it in the sink. So I'm going to light my noodle in the sink and see what happens. Okay, so we get a little bit of flame. I got a little bit of flame. But like I said, I think my mason jar lid is not tight enough, so it's not keeping our air in quite as good. It's kind of hard to tell. Try to get one of the noodles out. Okay, so we did have some of our noodle burn off. It's kind of hard to tell there, but the noodle did burn a bit. So let's talk a little bit about the chemistry. What's going on here? What's supposed to happen? So after a little research, I learned that there's 3 types of rocket engines, and they use solid fuel, liquid fuel, or a hybrid fuel. And this experiment is basically recreating this hybrid fuel. And hybrid fuel basically uses a solid combustible source and a gas as an oxidizer, like oxygen. So in our experiment that we just did, the pasta is consumed as the fuel. That's why it burns off. And it's oxidized by the oxygen and the hydrogen peroxide. So basically what's happening here is if we could convert this into a way we could put it in a car, it would basically propel the wheels. So it's just, it's a good experiment to demonstrate thrust, essentially. So again, we have our pasta is acting as our fuel, and it's being oxidized by the oxygen and the hydrogen peroxide, which is what's causing this reaction. And where mine went wrong is that I just had a little bit too much air coming in from the side of my mason jar. I think when I cut it, I messed up the shape a little, so air was getting in. But on the second try, I was able to get it to light at least a little bit for a little bit of time. But yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Mine didn't go as planned, but that's all you need to know.